And so I wanted to first start with spelling, then we'll talk a little bit about proofreading and then story starters, and we'll go into graphic organizers. But for spelling, we really have noticed that the spell checkers are so much better nowadays. And so a lot of times that's enough for some students. There are some more kind of stronger spell checkers. And so if you need those, make sure you get a hold of an AT person or somebody that can help with that. But what I found right now students are doing is they are using their speech to text to figure out how to spell words they don't know how to spell. So this is in Gen Ed, students in Gen Ed classroom, tier 1 support. And so they're either handwriting or typing, and they'll just use speech to text for spell support. And I love it. I think that's great. I don't have a problem with that at all. I hope you guys are into that too. It's spell checkers are so, it's not a hill to die on, right? Especially for older students in spelling, it's time to get them to know how to adjust their spelling. It's what I do in real life. But I did want to show a couple of low tech options that are kind of oldies but goodies. So this paperback, it's actually the size, it will fit into your pocket. So it's a pocket one. It's called the Misspellers Dictionary, and you look up words the way you think they're supposed to be spelled. And so it could be helpful for a lot of students, or some students anyway. So again, it's paper, and this is a used one for this price. They're kind of hard to find, and on Amazon you can get new ones, but they're like $12 a piece or something. I just think a used one with for a little bit of money makes more sense to me. And also the Children's Talking Dictionary is a nice kind of handheld tool. So it's a little bit high tech, and then it has batteries. But so I just wanted to make sure you knew what it looked like, because I think that there will be some in schools, in closets places. But you can find them on eBay, also on Amazon. They cost over $100. On eBay, you can get them like around $50 or something. But I do think that they're kind of stuck in closets places. So check with an AT person or maybe an OT person to help. So moving on to proofreading and grammar, the #1 way for students to proofread their writing is to listen to it being read out loud. And so of course we've got in the Chromebook, we've got Natural Reader extension that I highly recommend you asking your tech people to let you download, install Natural Reader. It's a good product, it's safe, and it has a little bit better voices than the built-in Select to Speak that Chromebooks have. The main difference between Natural Reader and Select to Speak is that Select to Speak highlights words better. Natural Reader, it doesn't always highlight the words for me. So if you really want to make sure that the words are highlighted for students, then you may want to use the Select to Speak. And this link will show you how to turn it on a Chromebook, and also just when to use it. So you could kind of follow that if you want. And Speak selection, of course, they're built into iPads. And later on, I can show you how to use that if you want. But let me show you Natural Reader first. So I'm going to jump to this document, and I already have this text. I just copy and pasted it from the newsletter. And so if I can highlight it, and then Natural Reader is kind of up here in the extension. It also shows up other places, but this is just kind of where I'm going to tap onto it. And I tap on the play button.
Thankfully, the spell check features in most word processing programs are better than ever.
So I think that you guys could hear that, because I could hear it in mine. And so then you could turn it off, but this plus sign is where you could get more settings, where you could change it to be a male voice if you wanted it to. Making it turn into an MP3 is a paid feature. But I also like that it has, this is universal, nope, not universal, what is it? Immersive Reader is built in. So it doesn't work good with Google Docs, but if you were on a website and you were listening to the website, you could also turn on Immersive Reader right from the tools here. So I really like that. More settings will get you more things, such as, this is where I did make it so that it would highlight words and sentences, but it just wasn't, it doesn't work inside Google Docs, I will say. So a little frustrated with that, but it's not the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. So then I also want to talk about Grammar and Grammarly. It's a Chrome extension. There's a free version of it, and then there's premium features. And really the free parts of it, I like quite a bit. So I'm going to go back to my document here and get out of this. And I'm going to just kind of get rid of this text. I won't mess with this right here. And so I'm going to use voice typing. So I'm going to write a story now using voice typing, period, new line. I can tell that there are some underlined words, and I'm wondering what those mean, but I have to remember that Grammarly uses a red line. So then I can kind of turn off my microphone. Get rid of that part right there. So now I can just kind of wait a minute and look. And again, these lines here, I could use a right mouse click on it. And I think that this just kind of goes along with Google Docs. It's some suggestions. And when I practiced this before, underline actually was underlined in red because it needed to be changed. But for whatever reason, it's not now. But you get the point how Grammarly just shows up in red, and then the students can select that. So it's a more robust, and it specifically works for grammar. So often the students, they could easily fix misspellings, but the grammar is the tricky part. So that's Grammarly. I'll show you Grammarly for iPad in a minute when I'm working on the next newsletter. But I also want to show you the comic strip maker. So students really need to be engaged for writing longer assignments. And this is a great website, totally free. And it helps kind of make a storyboard for stories. It helps to organize it. So I'm going to click here, and this will just kind of get me to some story starters. So I'm going to click on this story starter about the Olympic Games. People were shocked to watch Russian star Kamila Valieva 15 crumble during her free skate. She wandered around the rink in tears after a devastating show. How are 15-year-olds too young for such, or are 15-year-olds too young for such pressure? That's a way that we can kind of start the story. And it brings, all I did was click on it. It brings this into our storyboard panel. I click on the plus sign. Now I'm ready for another panel that I can fill up. I'll start with characters. And let's see, this guy. And if I just click on him, he pops up. Because I'm on this move arrow, then I can kind of move him around. Can make him down here like this. And then if I go back a couple of times, then I can, here's the balloons, the talking stuff. So now I can kind of put something in here. What I really like about this comic is it uses the supports that are built in. So I can use not voice typing, but dictation, and I can listen to Natural Reader to listen to things. So this dialogue prompt, it tells me, gives me clues for writing and what I should put in dialogues, but a lot of students wouldn't be able to read that. And so I can highlight it and click on the Natural Reader and then listen to it.
What happens next? Every comment.
Okay. Also for here, I'm on a laptop, and so I'm going to just use my own kind of dictation that's built in, but sometimes the pressure is too much for some of our younger people. So anyway, you get the point where you can use dictation, you can use text to speech, you can build up a story and have a nice storyline that's very engaging for our students. Another engaging way is with video writing prompts. You guys feel free to ask questions along the way. Dawn, make sure that you let me know if people are asking questions too. So this place, Imagine Forest, you may want to register students for this because it has a lot of writing supports. I don't know if anyone's used this before, so feel free to let me know in the chat if you have used this or seen this. But what I like is the video writing prompts. I'm gonna try this.
Who's ready to hatch some
This is
cool
an ad,
pets?
so let me get
Click
through
here
this.
to make your very own monster.
There. So now there will be a video writing prompt.
It's the middle of the night, and you hear some loud thunder crashing outside. The next morning you find a strange-looking egg in your backyard. It starts to wildly shake side to side.
So just for the purposes of getting this done a little bit quicker, so I'm just going to fast forward, but so it has that, it's a fairly short story, but it takes even more time to ask more prompting questions. So not only what do you think will happen next, but it asks, will you hide the dragon in your bedroom? Will you take it to school? How will you train your dragon? Would you train it to be good or evil? We know what some students would say. Do other dragons exist around the world? So you can kind of see where we are in this video, how it has a lot of prompting. So again, really nice structure for organizing your thoughts as well as engagement. And what I want to kind of tag along with that is a use of a graphic organizer. So we would have the video writing prompts. We've listened to it. We've got some of those ideas in our mind. But with MindMup is a, like a map builder, so to speak. I'm going to create a new map here just so that I can get in and show you what's going on. Some of the basics are that you double click here. And now say I wanted to write about my dog. I type in Yavi, and what I like is I can enlarge this. I can change different colors as well. I can add images into some of the nodes. I really like that I can add text notes and some other things. So keep in mind that blue dragon. So I started a story, a mind map with that blue dragon's content in mind. So we have blue dragon. Remember we had, they asked about how are you going to train your dragon? Is it going to be good or bad? How are you going to protect it? Will it have secret powers? So for secret powers, I'm going to put another node on here and we'll say that it can breathe fire. Awesome. And I'll make that one a little bit bigger. But let me show you another feature that you can use speech to text and Grammarly to help you. So if I write a note for that node, again, my dragon is going to breathe fire so that it can protect me. And then we wait for Grammarly to kind of kick in and it looks okay. There's an advanced suggestion that I could, if I had the paid version, but Grammarly says it's pretty much okay. And then the other feature that I want to show you is, this is again for MindMup. If I go up to File, I can download it as an outline and make sure that it includes the notes. And now the student can either turn in the outline for it, but the student could use the outline to help them write the story. So I'm going to open up the outline. It opens in Word documents. It's just easiest for me, but there's a few other features. But now look at all the writing they have. And the student, all they did was first they were engaged by that writing prompt. They were able to use speech to text. They made sure Grammarly kind of helped with that. And then it kind of put it into a nice way to be able to turn in to their teacher to let them know that they have done their writing assignment or part of it. So anyway, I really love Mind Mup. So the other one that I was suggesting is MindMeister. MindMup works on iPad as well. MindMaster, or however you say that. There's a web base for Chrome and there's an iPad app for it. And it's very similar where you can make things a little bigger, you can change colors, add pictures. But for MindMeister, it allows you to add links to websites, and MindMup does not. And so that might be a deal breaker for you. I don't know. My preference is MindMup until you get to the links part. And then I have a kind of a link to some printable graphic organizers. I know there's a plethora of them online, but this really is a great list of a bunch of them. And then just a reminder, when you print one of these out, then you may want to use a Legiliner. And once it's on paper, then you can run your Legiliner right across here and help to organize or help to make students' writing a little bit neater. It could happen.